Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a very much big welcome to the qualifying session of the Trick or Treat event hosted by GRG eSports, Dutch sim racing team and On The Limit racing community. Finally it's qualifying day, and today with me in the box is Guru. Hello Guru.
Hey mates, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And we've got our very new commentator out of the United States. This is Roblo97.
Hey, how's it going? You right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Everybody in the chat, let me know if the audio levels are correct and all good. As we are almost done with the... That's an entry. As we are almost ready to move on to the qualifying session and then into a 2-hour race with a driver swap.
Going to be very, very exciting, this race. It's going to be quite interesting as well to see which teams have already actually nailed their driver changes already, which is going to be pretty crucial when it comes to the actual race itself being 24 hours. Most teams having 4 drivers to try and actually get the car to the finish line. So this is going to be a good bit of practice either way for the teams as they head into the race next weekend.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah.
I think so as well. What you said, it will be very interesting. We had some issues with the driver lineup. Some teams couldn't join. Some teams had drivers that had obligations to work, family, I don't know. So we have 24 teams, when I'm correct, in this event. So 24 teams will participate in the sprint race, like in Formula One. They do a little bit of qualification, and that will set the grid for a 2-hour race with a mandatory driver swap, and from that point on, it's very nice to see. And Gemma just donated 5. Thank you very much. Let's go, everyone. Good luck to all, he said. So thank you for that donation as well. It will be interesting to see. There are some teams that did some practice runs before this, and they were driver number 2 or something, and one of the teammates couldn't join. So that will be too bad, because there is only one driver then.
Yeah, but a very bold decision to do it alone, and we'll see where he ends up. And we will add that driver swap to his time, and then we'll finalize the grid for next week's race.
Yeah, and with a big GT3 car, driver swaps are a little bit easier, especially compared to, say, an LMP2 or an LMP3 car, for example, where it's almost akin to trying to climb in and out of the little gap where you put your post into a letterbox. And you've got much more space inside to play with. So driver swaps in real life usually tend to take around the 50-second mark, along with changing the tyres, refueling, giving the windshield a little bit of a clean. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how long it takes in game to do all of that for the mandatory pit stop and give the car a quick once over.
I misjudged that. And we are into qualifying. And let me get back into all my screens here, as we have qualifying of 20 minutes now to determine the first starting positions towards the race. Let's see who is getting out. That's car number...
Big V12 Aston. Sorry, I had a bit of a sideways moment leaving the pit box. Corrected it though and kept it pointing in the right direction. So as we look at Iona Basila, car number 13, the Garage 59 Aston Martin Vantage GT3. There's 2 Aston Martin Vantage GT3s, 2 different types rather. We've got this one, which is the new V8 Vantage. Looks awfully similar to the GTE car, and in fact you can actually change the components to convert it between GT3 and GTE spec. But we've also got the old V12 Vantage GT3 on the grid as well.
Yeah, there are also some guys who are saying indeed there's some crackling in your sound. It seems that it got a little bit worse than before. Sorry.
When needed, unless it's my internet being my internet, then in which case, yeah, that's probably going to be a slightly bigger issue, as we were discussing. Oh, yes, it looks like it was just a case of
oh no, there it comes.
unplugging and replugging the microphone, but no, it might be the internet.
A dusty connection.
Yeah. That's just getting all the Halloween vibes in.
Yeah, it's very spooky.
Excellent. So we come out of Woodcote, past the pits, past what is now the national pits at Silverstone, into Cops Corner. Not much in a Formula 1 car, but in a GT3 car, it is a proper test of commitment for the drivers. And so's this part here, Maggots into Beckett's, coming into Chapel now, down to about third gear, through the exit of Chapel, and you've got to get a really good exit. It leads onto the Hangar Straight. It's currently on board the Aston Martin, up to sixth gear briefly, hard on the brakes now for Stowe Corner. Good tight line, runs as wide as possible there on the exit down through the Vale into Club Corner. There's the little bit of tarmac you may have just seen on the driver's left there is actually the variant of the corner that's used for historic meetings such as the Silverstone Classic. Coming now past the Formula 1 pits, the new pits at Silverstone, into the fiercely fast Abbey complex, now into the new section of circuit which was built in 2010 for the MotoGP, actually, not Formula 1, because the FIM really took a dim view to having cars go through bikes rather go through the old bridge corners. A little bit of a moment there, heading on towards the Wellington Straight. Now hard on the brakes for the last few corners. Coming up now into Woodcote, which seemingly goes on for Luffield, excuse me, sorry, which just goes on forever and ever and ever.
It never stops,
now,
right?
Yeah, never ever stops, and a nice tight line there through Woodcote. It's a 1 minute 58.7, and that's a very good lap indeed, especially if this is merely a banker lap. Then that is an incredibly quick time indeed, and about 3 seconds a lap faster than my best ever lap round here.
Sorry that a little bit silent on the background here, but yeah, I'm still answering some questions in the Discord chat. So
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it's like I just said in the chat, if you have problems with logging in, because yeah, it's a server-side issue. Drivers that could do one stint of one person and drive it, they will get a time penalty for that, because a driver swap will not be there, and maybe we will put some extra time on it. But still, we want the cars to be here to drive, that we have some stream. Of course, this is for charity, and you can see it in the top. Exclamation mark donate or exclamation mark voucher for some of the commands we have to get money for the Cancer Research UK. Yeah, and is it fair to others? Maybe no, because one driver, we have somebody in chat saying he's a little bit injured, and he had to do the qualifying because it was mandatory that we have two people. With the issues now, I'm saying, yeah, if one can do it, do it. But still, if he can do, people can 2 people do it, do it. If there is no other way, it's sad to see cars leaving. So do it alone, and we will find the appropriate solution for it. Maybe 10 seconds extra on the time penalty or something. But you can drive as well. So I hope you understand. And it's all for charity, so people have that mindset. It's not a race that you win $1 million or something. It's just that we have charity and we have a nice stream here. So
Yeah, and I've just noticed looking at the timing screen. Then I think Basila's lap might not have actually counted. He might have actually been pinged for track limits.
Yep, it was.
I think it was must have been track limits. I'm guessing on the exit of Stowe Corner, which is probably the easiest place to be.
Yeah, let's see. We have Chris Corbin here on a quick lap, and that's now invalidated. And we have here Hayden Harter, who's also decided to park it next. So I'm looking at the timing and trying to see which people are on some good times. Kirk Heath here.
Kirk Heath.
Yeah.
Yep. In the Bentley Continental GT3, coming now up towards Woodcote. It's a nice tight line there in the big Bentley. Currently 7th fastest, and it's through Copse Corner now. Just about keeps it within the boundaries of track limits there. It's Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, where it's actually surprisingly easy to spin if you're not careful. Coming onto the Hanger Straight now, and there's an Aston Martin V8 Vantage in the background. I think it's warming tyres up there. And into Stowe now, hard on the brakes in the big Bentley, which is much more of a racing car than the old Bentley Continental GT3 was.
Yeah, this one is much better. It's much more agile. It's not like a brick that's moving around the tarmac anymore.
Yeah, and it's the old Bentley Continental GT3, the original one. They ended up having to take a full 1,000 kilograms of weight out of that car to actually meet the weight requirements for GT3, whereas this was developed more in conjunction with the road car, and it shows very, very clearly in the way in which the big bruiser from Crewe in the north of England is much, much more adept through some of the twistier sections of circuit in real life than at, say, Monza, for example, or Paul Ricard, where you have massively long straights that suited it better. But coming through Woodcote now, Kirk Heath has dropped to 8th, and he's moved up into 5th place.
That's a very decent time, yes.
To a 1:57.867, now 0.501 off the fastest time so far, set by Sundström in the McLaren. Mikael Sundström there currently holds the fastest time with a 1:57.366. Coming now onto the Wellington Straight, presumably warming the tyres up slightly, a little bit there. While there is still a chance to before the final couple of corners. I love the way the team's name is Nearly on Pace when they're fastest on track. That is
that's very good. Yeah.
Very ironic. Nearly on Pace. No, they are very, very much on the pace. He looks to be on a quick one now, coming through Copse Corner in the McLaren. Now, you'd think, given the relative aero on the McLaren, it would be very well suited to Silverstone. There's a lot of fast corners here, so you'd think that the McLaren would be right at the sharp end of the field, and indeed it currently is at the moment, as Mikael Sundström heads onto the Hanger Straight.
He is currently 1:10 up on his quickest time, so let's stay with him for this lap and see what happens.
Yeah. gets a good exit out of Stowe. I don't think he's going to be in any danger of breaching track limits through Club Corner now. They've reprofiled since I last went to a Grand Prix at Silverstone back in 2009. And coming up to Abbey now, you can just see where the track peeled off to the left. That's the old circuit into the well, I guess you can almost call it an arena section here.
Yeah.
A couple of tight corners, one after the other. Also, pretty good photography spot in real life as well for just fans in general, as the barriers are quite low. You don't really have much in the way of fencing or advertising hoardings in the way there as well. Just where the old Grand Prix circuit used to run through Woodcut now.
Ah, here comes a very decent time.
This looks as if it could be an even quicker time.
Yeah, he lost a lot.
And he's lost a little bit of time there. He's improved his time, admittedly, but he's now only second fastest, as Kajela in the Bentley has gone quicker with a 1:57.255 while Sundstrom was actually on that lap as well. So there is definitely more to come, I'd say, from the McLaren here. And into the pits comes... Oh, sorry, out of the pits, excuse me, comes Thies van der Hoorn in the number 17 Porsche with a very appropriate livery for the race, considering it's Halloween, and there are pumpkins.
Yeah, actually, there's a funny story behind this. The team name is DSRT 2 Pumpkins, and there's actually two guys doing a 24 together. So they'll take on a big challenge going into that race next week by doing it together and pulling off something really amazing for charity. And, well, having this very angry-looking livery on a Porsche, I think they are one team to watch, even though they told me Porsche is not really the best car for this track, but they really enjoy driving it, and it's very good and stable in the corner, so I think it suits endurance racing overall.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a story come the end of the race. In thinking about it, the maximum drive time for when you drive one driver in the race is 16 hours, and they've got two drivers in the car, so roughly 12 hours of driving each over the course of the race. I bet they'll be in need of something a little bit more potent than a pumpkin spiced latte come the end of the race on Sunday afternoon. I think it might be... Well, I think it might just be bed, probably, but... Yeah, it's definitely one team to keep an eye on. Also, I think they're the only Porsche. Yes, indeed, they are the only Porsche in the field as well. So
that's bold, huh?
Mate, yeah, it's very bold. The Porsche is not the easiest car to drive. He says, trying to be somewhat diplomatic.
Well, knowing Thies van der Hoorn, because he is one of our drivers, he got it hooked up for every circuit. He's been driving this car since I know him, so he tends to go with the Porsche or the Ferrari, and these are the only two cars he drives. So I think we'll see. Let's see what he's. Oh, he's still warming up the tires. I think this is not really an interesting lap. 2.5 seconds up at this point. Let's take a look. Michael Sundstrom took back that pole with a 1:57.066. That's so quick. That's amazing. That's such an amazing blistering lap. A little bit.
That's basically. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. A little bit further back, we can see here Mr. Fox here, Kevin Fox, taking it up to P13. Let's see, have we got another few? Marjan Koderman which was caught up in some interesting accidents yesterday. Currently in P18, improving 2/10 at this point. So yeah,
Yes,
they're all on quite a similar pace. There's not really lots of difference. The top 23 now on 3.3 seconds. I would say that's very good. That's not too much of a big miss. Much wow on the side of the car. Much wow. Boo.
It's a beautiful looking livery as
Yeah.
well, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's like drops a bait as said in chat. There are too many Astons, and you can see the grid here. There is a lot of Aston Martins, and anybody knows why? Because it's the most stable car. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
very stable. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in British GT as well, the Aston Martin is quite a popular car in real life, actually, in British GT. I'm not 100% sure why, but it's probably because it's chance to say that, yeah, I race an Aston Martin. Maybe more than anything, but yeah, the British GT grid, it tends to have a lot of Aston Martins, a lot of Lamborghinis as well, and in fact, one of Lamborghini's own works drivers, Dennis Lins, was the co-series champion this year. They had the final round of British GT at Donington Park just last weekend, actually, as well. So it's it's quite interesting. It's almost mirroring real life to an extent.
Let's see this car of Team Kamikaze with a very animated livery as well. They haven't set a time yet, and they decided to go out late. So this might be an interesting one to watch, as they now have invalidated their time. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that 112 car. Marriott
They've
again.
only got one more lap.
Yeah. This is the Marriott of the off-pace racing team. Currently half a second up on its previous time. So that could be a top 10.
Couple of positions, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a little bit messy there, I think, on the way into club, sadly. Bit too much grass being taken. Whether that invalidates the lap or not, I don't know, but we're really coming up to crunch time here at the end of the session. There's only just under 90 seconds left now, so there's a few cars that might be able to squeeze in if they're already on them. Oh no, I don't think so. I think this might well be, we're coming up to, depending on who crosses the start-finish line when, could be coming up to final lap time.
Yeah, I think let me see, the 777 car might be the last one to make it. Let me see.
Tim Ruhl in the Ferrari.
40 seconds. Well, he might make it. He might make it. No, he's not. He's not. He's not gonna make it.
I think he might though.
Oh, he's confident.
Weaving his tires.
Yeah, he's confident. That's hard to tell. It's only 16 seconds.
15 seconds, but from now it's a case of pin the throttle and hope for the best.
It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. He makes it.
He's going to make it. He's made it. He's got another lap. This is almost Jenson Button at the Spanish Grand Prix in 2009-esque. The way he timed that.
Yeah, that's very well done. I love the warming of the tires. Oh, I'm gonna make it anyway. With 1 second left crossing the line, that's really confident.
That's a mixture of confident and ballsy.
Sandstrom now passes the line. Didn't improve on that 1:57.001. We're gonna keep an eye out. Let's see. We see That car number 100. Kirk Heat still on a faster lap, but losing it now into this corner. Burrows here, who is 2/10 up in the Schinkenwagen. Very good.
The pink and fluorescent green Aston Martin.
Yeah, with the blue rims.
I won't bother regaling anyone with a story about fluorescent green. I might save that for the race. But put this way, it ended up in a
Puts it in
slightly
P5.
drunken argument on Zoom, and he does indeed go up to P5 as well. Oh, and nearly loses it at Copse Corner.
Yeah, didn't expect the Bentley to be there at that point, so
Yeah. And meanwhile, the 777 is just coming up to the last couple of corners now. Is Tim Rule going to improve
No.
on his lap time? There is a chance he's only 33
No,
thousandths away from.
I think he invalidated the lap, so the session moved
P5.
forward. So we'll now see the qualifying times here. Who's going to go through them?
Oh, I can if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it was the McLaren of Mikael Sundstrom which took pole position here at Silverstone for the 2-hour qualifying race with a 1 minute 57.066. That's car number 899. Second place, we have the number 28 Bentley, which did a 1:57.255, although interestingly was a few thousandths quicker than the McLaren in the opening sector here at Silverstone. In third place, we've got the Aston Martin with a 1:57.558. The first of the Audi R8 LMS Evos is in fourth place. That's car number, I believe that says 54, with a 1 minute 57.570. In fifth place, we got another Aston Martin of Burrows. He was driving the car in qualifying, car number 125, with a 1:57.777. Lovely bit of palindromic numbering right there. In sixth place, we have Tim Rule in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo with even more sevens. That's car number 777 with a 1:57.810. In eighth place, we've got yet another Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3, car number 13 with a 1:57.888. Yet another palindromic number. In ninth place, we have another Bentley Continental GT3, this being car number 101 with a 1:58.062. In rounding out the top 10, we have the first Mercedes GT3, the AMG GT3 2020, car number 111 with a 1 minute 58.320. And interestingly, the number 37 McLaren also has set a 1 minute 58.320, the exact same lap time to the 1000th, although I'm presuming that the Mercedes set the lap first. In 12th place, we have another McLaren 720S GT3 on a car number 77 with a 1 minute 58.374. In 13th place, we have another Aston Martin Vantage GT3 with a 1 minute 58.461, and the 824 McLaren 720S GT3 is also set a 1:58.461. In 15th place, we have another Aston Martin Vantage GT3 with a 1 minute 58.659. And in 16th place, it's the number 29 Aston Martin Vantage GT3. We've got the Porsche in 17th place, which is actually quite appropriate for car number 17 in 17th place. The number 73 Mercedes is 18th. The number 38 Aston Martin Vantage is in 19th. And the 606 Lexus is rounding out the top 20. In 21st place, we have yet another Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3, car number 151. In 22nd, it's the number 16 Lexus. In 23rd, It's the number 102. It's an Aston Martin, but it's not the V8. It's the old V12, making a welcome return to the grid. In 24th place, we have another McLaren 720S GT3, car number 97. In 25th place, we have yet another Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3, car number 112. And rounding out the field, we have the 23 McLaren 720S GT3. That's a lot of Aston Martins and McLaren.
Yeah, and a lot of
With some
palindrome
other stuff
numbers, huh?
thrown in for good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a throwback to when I was back to my school days when I was actually learning maths. That was a long time ago, though. Sadly.
Yeah, you did
Says the
well.
person who's
The black
24.
screen. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, it's back.
I'm sorry, I'm switching screens constantly, going from stuff to stuff to stuff. Doing
It's
my
nice,
best.
isn't it? Nice, isn't
I'm
it?
doing my best.
Something that our own Juan just pointed out. We have like the overlay, and we have some followers. Thank you very much for the follows. The thing is, I had the coffin dance song, and it's not appropriate now, so I just removed it, and hopefully it's gone. So thank you very much for putting that out, and good luck to you all in the race.
Yeah, best of luck to everyone for what is going to be a fairly long race here at Silverstone, but one that's actually only 2/3 of the duration of the actual British GT race at the circuit.
Yeah, and we got a good mixture of cars. Obviously, a lot of Astons and McLarens. As we pointed out yesterday, I think we got 10 Astons, V8s, and 5 McLarens and 5 Bentleys. And the rest is a little bit more of a mix. But today I see a Audi, I see a Ferrari. Indeed, shout out to the only V12 Aston on the grid, as Chris Stevenson just pointed out in the chat. That's very, very good. We will do one full formation lap before we go to green. So, yeah, what do you expect? I think the Matheus Gadziela will do very good, but it also really depends on Sandstorm's pace, as he will be the leader of this the start of this race. We've seen yesterday that the McLaren can keep up with the Bentley, but it falls a little bit short towards the end of the stint, so that might be an interesting one to follow, as we get a good look of the cars here now. Very beautiful livery there from the 177 car. I've seen many beautiful liveries. Guru, maybe you can tell a little bit about the livery contest.
I don't know. I have a black screen again, but
You have a black screen, okay.
Oh yeah,
No,
there
it's
it pops
back.
up again. Wait, I'm really searching for everything that that I have.
Well, you got some time. You got some time. No problem.
Yeah, I think when I was having a little look through Tiltify earlier, if you can actually vote for the best livery on free Spotify as well. So if you donate, you get the chance to vote on which livery you think is the best or the spookiest or.
Yeah, from next week on, in the 24-hour race, we have the livery contest. For every £1 that will be donated, you can select a reward. And that reward is like putting in the car number of your favorite team or your favorite livery, because it's a livery contest. And the SimGrid and Coach Dave Academy, they sponsored a setup pack for the best livery. So the winner then with the most votes will get a setup pack from SimGrid and Coach Dave Academy. We have another sponsor. It's Simix Pro. If you do a $250 donation, you can select that reward as well, and you have a raffle ticket then for a €75 voucher of the Simix Pro. They have like rigs and racing art and everything, so you can select something from there as well. yeah, we have some other sponsors like R&D Racing, the top 3 of every class, and I thought it was the qualification. No, it's in the race.
In the race, yeah.
In the race, yeah, they will receive also setups from R&D Racing. We have Matto Collery. Matto Collery is a guy who makes liveries and everything. And today, the top 3 in the qualification session will win the first prize, and that's sponsored by Matto Collery. So they will get a special G55 Ginetta GT4 livery, so specially made for this event as well. So yeah, thank you all to the sponsors. And yeah, of course, this is one of our Bradley in the IT car, the Frightening Clowns. So yeah, from next week on, you can vote. You can see the liveries today. You can let it sink in and donate with the exclamation mark donate. Yeah, and select all the extras we have put in.
Cars are starting to line up 2 by 2, which is a little bit of a mess going on towards in the midfield there. But then again, this is considerably easier said than done when you've got to try and actually go around some fairly slow, fairly long corners in the process. Cancela there doing a quick last-minute burnout to get some heat into the rear tyres of the Bentley as they come through Woodcote right now and heading past what I still refer to as the old National Pits. As they head towards the start line now, we should be going green shortly, and in fact we are green now. It's a good start from both the drivers on the front row, and Cancela holds on around the outside. He runs a little bit wide there at Cops Corner, but he takes the lead from Sundstrom. The battle on the second row of the grid, it's still the Aston Martin ahead of the Audi. Burrows is still in 5th place there in the pink and green Aston Martin. And we now look at Sundstrom as he tries to get the lead back from Cancela. They're drafting down the Hangar Straight as we speak. Sundstrom pulls out to the outside. Appears to be a good clean start from everyone, and Sundstrom tries to go round the outside. A bit wide there. He might lose. Is he? Don't think so, but he does take the lead back on the brakes into Club Corner. There's barely a cigarette paper between the top 4 on the brakes there into Club. And the 177 Aston Martin is now having a little look. That's Alexander Romantsev. And Romantsev tries, he thinks better of it on Cancela. Absolutely fantastic racing. Did anyone actually bother to tell these guys it was like a 2-hour mini endurance race at all? So I don't think they got the memo.
No.
54 Audi of Rodez has hit Romantsev's Aston Martin. There's a Tim Rule there going off in the background as well in avoidance, and in lieu of the stewards, I think that, well, there's 3 of us who saw that live and can probably make sense of that one. Currently looking at Chris Corbin in the 101 Bentley, now Gianluca De Luca in the 305 Aston Martin. I feel as if we're going to be saying the words Aston and Martin quite a lot over the next 2 hours. He comes now towards the end of the lap.
Let's look at this replay. There's something interesting. Oh, that's a pile-up.
Oh, yep. Jeez. Bit of a pile-up there. And there's cars going
everywhere,
left, right and centre, and there's a lot of drivers peeling into the pits. There's the 101 Bentley of Corbin, Jay's McLaren, Jens Aston Martin, Baxall there in the Lexus, and De Luca in the Aston Martin are all pitting, presumably to fix damage, as there's another car's gone off actually at Beckett's. Can't quite see who that is. The yellow flags are out. That's car number, I want to say 97. That's Thomas Cowart in the McLaren there, having a bit of a moment on one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Coming down the hanger straight now, he's lost an awful lot of time. He's 16 seconds behind Klein Hoing. Car looking at Daniel Roger's Audi. After that incident, shall we say, earlier on the opening lap, he's got Heath behind him in the Bentley and a presumably very riled up Romantsev in the Aston Martin a little bit further behind. So once Alexander Romantsev gets past the Bentley of Heath, this could get quite tasty, methinks. And in fact, Romantsev, looks if did he get a better exit? No, he didn't quite get exit. He's got the inside there for Woodcote. He's going to be on the inside for. Gets a little bit of a slipstream there from the Bentley. Thinks better of it at Copse Corner, and Bentley just pulling away slightly there from the Aston Martin. Go through Maggots, Beckett's, towards Chapel and back onto the hanger straight. His gap has increased a little bit there in the opening sector of the lap. And just updating now. Yep, it's gone up to 0.3 of a second. Romantsev on the brakes there, quite nicely through style. I wonder if actually the contact and the spin led to maybe some potential tyre issues. Maybe. As we look at Chris Minahan in the McLaren, car number 77, with what I think is a Joker inspired.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, this is useful because my pop culture knowledge is pretty terrible.
And we finished about the subject.
Yeah, from Joker, one of the characters in the Batman franchise. I can't possibly tell you which comic book franchise Batman was from because there's only really two, and I'm inevitably going to say the wrong one. So, DC Comics, I think.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, I'm going to actually quickly hit my microphone with my phone and Google it.
Yes, we see Lucas Rosepal here from the Dead Meat team. Currently in P15, he did do a good job in that AMG yesterday. So I'm excited to see where he ends up today after his first stint and towards the end of the race. But very interesting. I think he was involved in that crash as well. The car doesn't look as crisp and clean as he started it with. But yeah, he is on to that number 16 Lexus at this point. So let's see where he can take his car. In the front, it seems that Michael Sundstrom has a 3-second lead on Matthias Caggiela. So either he is saving the tires and the fuel, or he is just lacking pace. I told Sundstrom might be overdoing it and giving that time back towards the end of the stint, but we will have to see what happens. Still here for that third position, we have room 177, 100 and 54 fighting for that third spot, so they are still very close together. Good to see that Alexander of the Non Grata team here has caught up a little bit towards that spot. I think we will see him move towards that third position if he continues to drive as stable as he does right now. Let's see, who else have we got here? What else is an interesting fight? We have Thijs van der Horneers side to side. And overtaking that. Sorry?
Yep, he's gained the position there from
yeah.
Klein Hoeing in the Aston Martin. For 19th place, Klein Hoeing has a little look though on the brakes into the last couple of corners, but Van der Horn holds the line. And to answer the question earlier as to which comic book franchise Batman is in, it is indeed DC.
Ah, well, kudos for you.
Which was a guess. It was a guess, Gov, honest. Looking at Lucas Rosjapal in the number 111 Mercedes.
He did make the overtake, so he gained 1 position there on that Lexus. Let's see if he can grab his pace and move towards that number 13 car.
Yep, should be. There's a fair old gap. There's just under 4 seconds, so this won't be the work of a moment, but
yeah, once you are in free air and you don't have to defend too much, you can focus on what's in front of you, and that's nothing. That means you can drive your own race, and especially in these longer races or these longer type of events, it always feels good to drive your own race. If you're in a sprint format, you know it's going to be tight and you're constantly going to be defending or attacking, but it's quite nice to have like a 20 or 30 minute drive by yourself and just focusing on the times, and that can gain you more than just 1 position after the pit stop.
Yeah, it's going to be... And Roger Powell looks to as if he is actually closing that gap rather quickly indeed. He's already gapped the Lexus by well over a second. He's now down to 3.2 seconds on the McLaren of Minahan, car number 77. Yep, it's car number 77 there. It's going to wait for the times to update in a second. He's got the gap down to still 3.2 seconds. Correa looks to have managed to take about a 1/10 off the Mercedes there in the final sector of the lap. But overall, still very strong indeed. Currently looking at Kirk Heath in the Bentley, who has lost a position to Alexander Romantsev. Which now means we have Romantsev on the back of Borges for 4th place. The 2 drivers coming into contact on lap 1. So this could be.
It's an interesting battle for
that.
For that P3. This is like they are really close and they are all on a similar pace. There's quite a good gap to that 13 car behind. So, yeah, I think these 4 will, if they want to make an impression on the numbers 1 and 2, they need to work together. But as for now, they seem to have a nice, good squabble together and decide that maybe the 3rd spot is the best spot they can get, and they fighting for it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, there's Sundstrom's still leading. Kadzela's 3.5 seconds back, and Burrows in 3rd place is another 5 seconds behind Kadzela. So adding in everyone's time differences roughly, that's more than I can work out. It's now 5.1 seconds, but it's definitely.
It's these 6.
Yeah, they're really going to need to work.
Yeah, it's these 4 or 5 cars that are fighting it out at this point, and we'll keep an eye out on them. And thank you for following SN Miss Zal. Let's see a little bit further to the back. We've got Bradley Burgett of the DSRT Frightening Clowns. He started way from the back, I think, and he's now already
Last, I think.
yeah, now into 17th position. So they are doing a little last to first challenge. See what the teams are made of. As we see the 111 car there of Roseball making a big mistake. And let's see if... Yeah, they both can capitalize on that. I don't really like the camera there because you cannot see what's happening if one car is in front of another, so I had to wait till the camera switches. Roosevelt seems to be falling a little bit short of pace. I expected more from these guys after yesterday's warm-up event. They did really well in the AMG, but maybe they got the tire pressure set up completely wrong, or yeah, maybe it's something else wrong. Maybe they have a little bit of hardware issues. I'm not sure, but they seem to be falling short a little bit. As we see Burgett, trying to make the overtake, but going wide there.
That's going to...
I think that was contact.
Collision.
Must have been contact.
Yeah,
because
we're gonna look at the replay here. One moment.
And
takes a little bit of time to load.
Yeah. See, he sends it up the inside. No, he loses it by... No, they both actually managed to... Did they lose it? Was Codeman involved?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it again. Just because I have a beautiful button for this kind of replays.
Now coming through Abbey now, Burger is there in the Mercedes. Currently, he passes Codeman.
It doesn't really show.
And not only that, but Burgett has also made a right mess of his tyres as well, running onto the marbles.
Oh yeah.
On the outside there, so that's going to take a good few laps to sort out. I should add, it is also unseasonably warm at Silverstone, 24 degrees Celsius. I should add, I've been to Silverstone in April, back when the FIA World Endurance Championship race was in April at Silverstone, and it is one of the coldest places anywhere on the planet. In fact, 1 year we actually had FP1 cancelled due to it started snowing.
Oh, really? That's like...
Yeah, I'm not joking. It
cold.
Actually started. It was actually snowing at Silverstone.
And another follow. We have here another follower, Nova Plays Games. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for hitting that like button.
And I mean, this was when we still had the big hybrid LMP1 cars, which they have four-wheel drive, but unfortunately, it's not permanent four-wheel drive, nor is it four-wheel drive that actually works when it's snowing. So you had on social media all kind of like the Swiss and Austrian and German drivers being like, "Oh, it's snowing. Let's have a bit of a laugh here." And then you got some of like the guys like Lucas de Grassi and Pippo Durrani, for whom it was basically the first time they'd seen snow.
The first time they've seen snow. Wow, I cannot imagine that. Living in the Netherlands, we've got a little bit of everything. So
And I mean,
little fun fact here. In the beginning of the race, there was a big contact, and some guys needed some repairs. And Turn 1, the Mentors and the SPM Corporation are now working together to get more to the front. So it's really nice to see people in the background here in chat. We're talking together, like, let's work together, get farther, and we have a race to do here. Really nice to see that.
Yeah, cracking. See them trying to cooperating to get a bit further up the field here. We're still only not even 20 minutes into the race yet. It's still an awfully long way to go and plenty of time to do just that. We look at Luke Burmeister in the number 6 Lexus with
Luke was involved in that lap 1 collision, and his best time is a 1:59.604, which was also his last lap. So I think Luke we'll see him moving upwards through the field, as most drivers behind are doing 202s like the 97 car here from the Narmimic team. And I got to give it to this livery. I've been looking at this picture many times now, and I absolutely love this livery. This is so spooky. It's like something from the depths, and oh, we got a donation.
Yep, I've just seen it pop up on screen. Don Debian has donated a tenner to Cancer Research UK, supporting car number 606. Thank you so much for the donation.
Let's give them some
Much
screen time, Ben.
appreciated.
Huh?
Yep, absolutely. Currently looking at the Lexus RCF GT3 here, which is usually my go-to car actually on ACC on the PS4. It's quite a stable platform, and it doesn't half sound good as well.
Yeah, I love the Lexus. It's overall a good car, very agile, and if you get it set up right, it can really help you learn to take corners better. Actually, I really learned some tricks just by driving it in the Lexus, because it doesn't break out that easily. You know, it's like rock solid.
Harmless, I think that says, is now following us as well on Twitch.
Yeah, thank you. And looking at that donation goal, we set a goal of £1,000. And yesterday, before we... oh, hello, René. Thank you for hosting with one viewer. That's a rate. We started with 840 something dollars yesterday, and we are already at 910 pounds there. So it means we are only $90 away from reaching our goal, even without the race. So we've still 1 week to go. So we might have to talk to with the admins together if we can up the goal to like maybe 2,000. Do you think it's possible, Roblo?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, I'm just waiting for the money to transfer into my PayPal account so I can donate. Unfortunately, that's not going to be until probably the middle of next week at this rate. It says 5 days before the money will arrive in your PayPal account.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yep. So I've got to wait
did you send
5 days.
Did you send a pigeon or something like this with a pigeon with a little bag of money on it?
I tell you what, I'd be interested to see which was faster. In fact, there was actually in fact, speaking of which, there was I saw a TV news report in Germany about rural internet, and they decided to have a race to see which was faster at transferring the rural internet, or someone on a horse, as Harmless has donated 20 quid to Cancer Research UK. Let's go, number 77. Thank you so much for your donation. It's very, very much appreciated by everyone at DSRT, at GRG, at OTL as well. We're currently looking at Chris Minahan in the 77 McLaren, as we've got another follower.
Yeah, that's Connie.
Yeah, it's all happening here at Silverstone. With regards to the race between the internet connection and the horse, the horse had a person riding it with a bag containing a USB stick with the photos, and the horse won.
It is
much to the annoyance of the of Deutsche Telekom, the guy's internet service provider, who, upon finding out what had happened, decided to rather promptly upgrade the internet in that village after the absolute, complete and utter embarrassment of getting beaten by a teenager on a horse.
Yeah, if you get beaten by a horse, you need to look at the cabling, mate. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even a carrier pigeon probably would have stood a pretty fair chance. I mean, to give you some idea how slow the internet was, the guy on the horse was able to ride to the destination, drop off the USB, as we've got another follower.
Yeah, it's busy. It's busy today, huh?
Yeah, it's very, very busy, just how we like it. The guy was able to ride the horse, drop off the photos by USB, ride the horse all the way back again, clean the horse, and get the horse back in the stable before the photos downloaded. And the WeTransfer file got sent. You've got yet another follower as well.
To send it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still see that 177 car here behind the 54 car. And I think he's faster, but he cannot seem to find the pace.
Let's have a little look at the inside there. On the way up towards Woodcote, or Understeer Central, as it feels like. It just goes on for forever and a day. Also, Luffield, excuse me, that's Woodcote there. Of course, Woodcote, not quite the challenge it used to be back in the 60s and up until the early 1970s, where it was well, if anything, it was actually a faster corner than what Cops was. A real tested driver's skill, right up to the point where until Scheckter crashed in the 73 British Grand Prix and took out a lot of cars. In fact, I think the entire Surtees team's entries got wiped out in that, and then they built the chicane, which lasted until 1985, when Keke Rosberg set what was then the record for the fastest ever lap of a circuit in a Grand Prix car by average speed, and then they had to rebuild the chicane again. And where the current Luffield corner is where part of that chicane was. So when they redeveloped the circuit in the early 1990s, they used the second part of that chicane, but just extended the bit between the two corners to be further infield, and then create kind of the well, Mickey Mouse feeling section as Romantsev goes up the inside. He sends it very nicely there. Keeps it tight on the second part, so Gorges can't fight back through there. Both get a pretty good run.
Yeah, let's see the slipstream here.
Straight. Is Gorges going to have a look up the inside into the complex? No, he's going to have a move to the outside, wait for the understeer, and then gets on the cutback and gets back past for fourth place, heading into Luffield with his rearview camera, his rearview mirror, his wing mirrors full of black and blue Aston Martin. Great bit of driving from the pair of them there, heading into Cop's corner now, and in turn this is bringing Heath back into the equation.
Yeah, he's laughing from the back there. He's thinking, okay, you two have a squabble.
Shane Klokanovsky has just donated £50.
Wow. That's
for
big.
a part of Team Midnight M Express, which means we, first of all, thank you so much for your incredibly generous donation, but we're now on £980 raised. The donation I've actually got waiting to be transferred into my PayPal account is actually £30.
So we're gonna we're gonna do a little dance soon, huh? How about that?
Yeah.
Like I
I'm
said
not dancing
yesterday.
on camera.
I said it yesterday. when we achieved the goal and we up it a little bit, the chat, there are some viewers watching. Bring us some ideas. When we hit 1250, I will do something. But yeah, you can say like, for instance, last year we had the GRG stream. We hit our goal and I ordered pizza in Spanish. I'm a Dutch guy living in the Netherlands. I had to call a Dutch pizza place and talk Spanish to them. So, things like that. Bring ideas, and we will pick something out.
Yeah.
And
so long as it doesn't involve me singing, because I cannot sing.
Oh, I will sing a song for you. No problem at all. If you say I have to sing, I will sing.
Well, we will get copyrighted. It's way too beautiful.
Yeah, that's way too beautiful. But thank you very much for the donations. Jesus Christ, we are on 980, 20 pounds away from our goal. We didn't even start the main event. This is yesterday we had the warm-up race. There were some donations today. If you see the donations, amazing. And next week we have the 24 hours. So
what
you
to
said
expect?
up to 2,000. I think that's a little bit too much, but yeah, we can set like 4 goals, like 1250, 1500, 7050, and then 2000. And at 2000,
we've done it. We've done it. We've just broken the
Oh my God.
£1,000 mark. We've already broken it. Well, my donation was another £30 on top of that. So I guess we can say that. Well, we've got to wait a few days for it to
Here
actually.
it comes.
Here it comes. Aquapax Racing, number 54, donated £20 for Cancer Research UK.
We did it, guys.
We did it, and we've still got 1.5 hours left of the qualifying race.
Oh my God.
I have one idea because I'm really sorry to say this, Roblo. There are some guys that say your mic is really cracking and popping. So we can say if they donate 10, you have to be silent for like 5 minutes. It will help the cause. So maybe that's an idea.
I mean, we've already broken the £1,000 goal. I think pretty much anything's fair game at this point within reason.
Well, if we, what if we break 2,000 and we cut your hair?
Oh. Yeah, you have to see the picture because Roblo has really long, nice hair. So yeah. And I'm a bald guy, so
yeah, we're both quite bald, so nothing we can do.
Oh, that's a good one. A hot tub DSRT cafe at 1250.
Oh.
You don't want to see my fat belly in a hot tub, mate.
I don't want to sit with Guru in a hot tub, actually. I think it's strange. Drinking coffee together is one, but sitting in a hot tub together? Nah. But yeah, everything for the good cause, of course. So we might have to reconsider some things.
Got a question here in the chat. Fastest car on track with the recovery drive. Let's go. Gather some stream time for the car 101. So could you pull up car 101? They are really trying to get back here. And there was the car that was working a little bit together with the A24. But yeah, they were really down the order and they are really fighting back at this time. So a really nice job there.
Yeah, they are currently in 20th position, and their fastest lap is a 159.025, and they are averaging, I think, around 2 minutes. So they are catching 19, 18, 17, 16, which is, we will see them shredding through the field. The quickest guy on track is still Michael Sunstorm with a 158.4, so that's a very stable, good time, doing sub-2s constantly, and now has a 11-second gap to Mateus Gazzela. That's a very stable driver as well, but he goes above the 2 minutes per lap. So last lap was just above the 2 minutes. So I would be interested to see how this plays out towards the end. If the McLaren will lose some speed and pace towards the end of the stint through the tires or anything, or if it's just a very, very good driver. We'll have to see. Also, still in battle is this trio, the 177, 113 car. Maybe we can get him on the helicam. These three guys are still battling. They were battling from lap 1 and they are still in battle. Oh! Nice stream. I like the qualification formats. Thank you so much, Chris Rice 21.
Nice stream. Like the qualifying race format, smiley face.
Yeah, smiley face. Thank you for the bits. We will see if we can transfer that towards the goal as well, as we want as less as possible gains from these streams.
Look at the bar above.
You
goal.
changed the goal.
50.
You upped the
So
goal.
first goal was reached 1,000, and now I put it up to 1,250. Let's see how we can do that. Yeah, that was to the DSRT channel. 200. How many is that?
I don't know. We have to see the
1
currency.
bit is.
I have no idea. Really, I have no idea.
as well.
But we
I will
will
check it out.
calculate.
I will check it out.
Every bit helped.
Yeah, but
Indeed.
that's it's €2. Okay, I will do that in a while. I will do that because it's on my account, and I don't want to make money off this stream. I want it to go to Trick or Treat. So I already did 2 entry fees for the cars, and I will do this as well because I love charity.
Well done, Guru.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Is it me, or has the number 8, is the 8th place Audi actually lost a few positions at some stage? Because the Audi of Gorgeous was right up with Romantsev, and he's been passed by Heath, Basila, and Rull. I'm wondering if there's been an off at some point,
Let me see.
or Daniel Gorges in the Audi, as Bloodwolf NL is now following us on Twitch as well, us being DSRT.
I'm not seeing anything. I just see contact. So yeah, there's nothing in my screen which says something happened.
Could be
Could be
tire
something.
drop.
Yeah, could be something.
Could
Maybe a
be.
little off track, or yeah, maybe some traffic. I don't know. As we are no, it cannot be traffic. The number 102 car has just been lapped. He's a lap down, so.
And the Aston Martin of DeLuca, I've noticed, has been in the pits for quite a long time.
Yeah, indeed it is. I think
that
it's there
might-
12 laps.
Yep, I think that could that be a retirement? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's the second pit they took, and they are 22 minutes in the pit now. Also interesting, the AMG of Lucas Rosipal has the highest speed trap with 252 kilometers per hour. So that AMG is for sure doing a low downforce setup to extract every bit of pace out of the straights. And thinking about it, it's actually a very good way of thinking, because the best overtaking zones are coming from straights into corners on this circuit. So thank you for the follow, Tide One. Sorry if I butcher your names. It will be 2 weeks of butchering names, and then let's see. The biggest gain at this point is the 112 car of Team Kamikaze, and making up 13 positions, starting from position 25. And now in P12, so that's a very good drive. Well done.
Yeah, very, very well driven race so far, with what looks almost like an Itasha livery, like what you see in some of the Super GT cars out in Japan.
Yeah. Those drift cars and all these crazy cars.
Yeah, and well, speaking of crazy cars in Super GT, the Toyota Prius. Yes, you heard that right. There's a Toyota Prius racing in Super GT
Yeah,
up
I've
against
seen it.
cars like this. Used to actually have the old LMP1 V8 in the back of it, but
Wow.
oh, blood cheered times.
1400 bits for charity.
For charity tried it also in
Yeah.
GRG, but didn't show up
Bits
smiley
to
face.
cash donation
Love
has
the
come
screen.
in as
CJ
well
Harris
to take it up
go
to
94
£1,002.
You guys keep me
And-
busy with this.
Yeah.
That was the Chris Rice, the bits that I received. I just put it out.
Thanks, mates. Cheers, Guru.
No, I don't have that much money on my account, guys.
Well, we can write them down and we'll do it in one
Yeah.
go. I will be happy to donate towards that cause as well. So if you donate any bits on the DSRT channel, it will go towards the donation goal, and we will pay that out of our own pockets. Obviously, no problem. We like to do it because I think Cancer
Yeah.
Research UK has been doing a very important thing in health in general. Cancer is something we all know, and we all know someone, and every bit of money goes towards research and getting better medication and treatments. So I think they will be happy with even £2. Very good vibes, as Dutch Stick just emotes in the chat. Let's see, what else have we got going on, guys? I need to change the screens here. What do we have? We still have... It seems that there are some gaps starting to appear from Burrows to Alexander from the Non Grata team. It's now 7 seconds. And Kevin Heath has made up 2 positions. And he is 1 second behind. So it seems they are giving each other a little bit more space. It's not like 0.3, 0.4 seconds. It's now like more 1 second gap as we are heading towards the 45 minute mark. So I think the tires will starting to show a little bit, as we saw some nice blue flags appear as well. That means some of the slower cars will starting to get lapped, and they will come into play as well.
Yeah, Romantsev's got Aston Martin in front of him, which I think is why the blue flags are waving. The number 38 Aston, so yeah, blue flags still waving. Obviously, Maggots Beckett's Chapel's not the ideal place to be getting out of the way of a faster car. Is he going to?
And another 100.
Another 100, yeah. And gets out of the way of Romantsev there on the hanger straight into Stowe Corner, but now he's got to get out of the way of Kirk Heath and Ayunat Basila for good measure as well.
Yeah, that's that trio has been together for a long time, since the start of the race. So yeah, if you are the slower car, you know, okay, there's 3 cars coming up and they are sort of more or less battling. But this always helps to make the gaps a little bit bigger, and it takes away the close racing, and that makes 3K bits. I like even numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to ask my boss for a promotion now.
You can show it. You can show him this all these streams and what we've done. So he will be happy to give you that promotion. Here in 18th, 17th, and 16th position, we have these guys that were involved in that T1 carnage, and some having to pit. But these are the faster cars, and these 3, this Bradley Burgat and Christian Correa from Brazil, and this is Marian Koderman from Olympus eSpooks. They are having a little bit of a squabble, so maybe we stick with Bradley and we drive on the bonnet for a little bit.
Nice close view there, showing just how low down the front of that McLaren actually is, as we get a fantastic view of the back end of Correa's Lexus. The Lexus RCF GT3 donating one of its engines to replace the old LMP1 engine in the back of the Super GT Plus. Correa makes a little bit of a mistake there. Burgett goes up the inside, but Correa's got the inside line for Luffield and manages to just about keep on hold of 17th place there. Burgett has a bit of a moment coming out of the corner. I don't think he's running that high traction control setting then by the looks of things. And that's given Correa a bit of space.
He's catching up quickly.
McLaren is catching up very quickly indeed through Copse corner, showing just how well sorted the aero of that 720S is. Of course, although he does run quite wide, Chapel manages to take the grass and the green tarmac there to get back onto the circuit. Yeah, a lot of modern day stuff like the Huracan, the Audi, the Merc, the McLaren, the Ferrari, all really quite heavily detuned compared to standard, as Burgett has a little close up there on the braking for Club.
Very good braking. That gained him a lot of time.
Yeah, I think on the brakes is probably one of the biggest strengths of the McLaren relative to all the other cars.
Yeah, because it's a very light car, so it's easy to stop it.
Yeah. It
here he
means
goes.
It's not the most powerful, but he has a look. Thinks better of it. And trying to go for the cutback, doesn't quite get there. Tries again, but Correa holds onto the line nicely. Both get a good exit. Coming down the Wellington Straight now. In the slipstream of the big Lexus. And given the relative size of the two cars, it's punching a very big hole. And again, he has another look up the inside. Runs a little bit wider there to give Correa the racing room. Doesn't lose the back end on the exit of the corner this time. And almost side by side through Woodcote. Heading into Copse now. Definitely takes the wise decision and not try sending it up the inside of the blind corner. And into Maggott, Specketts and Chapel now. Lexus just pulling away ever so slightly there, I think.
Yeah, I think the McLaren is missing, is getting into a little bit of dirty air there, and he doesn't seem to be able to catch up in that part of the track, but he seems to be better on that sector 2 and 3, where he makes the overtake in sector 3. So it's just a matter of time before he gets it done, as he gets another look here on the outside, maybe switches back towards the inside. But very good defending there by Correa in the middle of the track, braking nice and early, nothing to worry about, because he knows what the strength of the Lexus is, and it's almost like a Porsche. You know, you've got this great exit speed and you've got this traction coming out of the corners, and this is the best way to defend.
Yeah, it's going to be well, I can remember the earliest days of the GT3 class back around 2007, and I'll tell you what, the cars really have progressed an awful lot in that time, from having basic steering wheels with only a couple of buttons and virtually no aero to, well, you see the amount of aero on these things now. I think when he has a look up the inside there, he sends it, and he sends it hard. And Correa gives him the racing room. Has a little look back at Luffield. Doesn't get the position, and Burgett has gone up to 17th place. in the McLaren 720S GT3. They've started last, and now he's got 4.7 seconds to close up to Codeman in the Mercedes.
Yeah, which having a very easy drive there.
As Gorges is having a little look at the back of Tim Rule's Ferrari. Sides better of in through a very quick corner indeed.
The Audi is quite one to set up, but if you got it correctly, you can set blistering times with it. I've seen many leagues with just one single Audi driving everyone the blood from their eyes. It's one car you really have to understand, and if you got it right, you can really win every race with it.
A lot of very good cars in this game, and speaking of which, there are no BMWs here.
Nope.
In race, but there is. I think hopefully that might be changing soon when we get the new M4 GT3.
Oh, and it has the better exit now. Let's see. Together
And
through
gets
comes.
it.
Oh, that's bold.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
nice.
that was pretty brave. Pretty brave to say the least there on the run into Maggots. Oh, yeah. Tim Rule down to 8th place.
I've got a little bit of a yellow there. A 94 car of Marriott losing 4 positions doing that. Sorry to see that. I didn't know. I'm gonna take a look. There was no contact, so I think there was a little bit of fatigue there kicking in after 50 minutes of racing.
Fatigue and tyres that are probably a little bit past their best, but could make a very nice clock for your living room.
If they're worn enough, it's gonna show the right time.
Yeah. And it's like I was in a pub yesterday, and they had a clock there that was made out of an old Goodyear F1 tyre.
Oh, you didn't nick it?
No, it was a little bit too high up for me to reach, sadly.
Someone put on a show. I'm gonna grab it anyway. It's probably very lovely to see indeed.
That will be the challenge then for 2000. I will steal it.
Yeah. So, right. So, who's going to be in charge of booking the flights and the train fares and the train tickets then to get to Newquay in Cornwall?
That will be paid from the bits.
Just gone 4 o'clock here in the UK, in real life. Weather conditions still showing absolutely beautiful conditions at Silverstone. Perfect conditions for racing. 24 degrees air temperature. Just like being in Spain at Formula E testing around this time of year.
Yeah, I hope they enjoy this weather for now, because next week it will be trick or treat. It will be very different, and the weather pattern for next week are showing some very irregularities. So I hope they enjoy their time on an optimum track with the sun out and 27 degrees and the sun shining and it's all light and all good. Next week will be different, as we see Chris here misjudging his braking point a little bit, trying to catch up, and I'm gonna switch to this fight because these.
Oh, crikey!
This is Corbin again, shredding through the field.
Correa's already got back past Burgett and cuts the corner there. Not the ideal line through Chapel onto the Hangar Straight, admittedly. There's a little bit of tarmac to the outside of that corner, the Hangar Straight. That's actually the MotoGP layout. where they have to run a slightly tighter
Oh, that's a
corner.
nice
Corbin
overtake.
gets past. So, yep, cracking overtake there from Chris Corbin in the 101 Bentley into Stowe corner. Yeah, MotoGP does require a few changes to Silverstone. Hence why we turn right here instead of left. You can actually still walk that old section of track through down the hill through Bridge Corner and through the old infield part.
Yeah, it's still there.
Normally, yeah, it's still there. And normally when the WEC was racing at Silverstone, the Porsche Club Great Britain would actually have a big car meet there, so you'd just be able to look at like GT3s, GT3 RSs, Cayman GT4s, and
great look.
Oh, it is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty nice to say the least.
By the way, can somebody tell me how the race is going? Because I'm just chatting all the way here. I don't know what's
what
happening.
What are you doing, man, in the background?
Yeah, everybody has questions and joining things, and they have like, for example, is there a pit time that the pit will open or will close? It's not in game, so I don't think there is. We will be probably on the point that drivers will swap. So I will see pit stops coming in 5 minutes.
I think so, yes. It really depends on how the server is set up, as we have no control of that server, and we have no idea what settings are loaded into the server. So we have to pray that we will see a pit window occur in 1 minute, or then maybe in 5 or 6 minutes, so to say, because it's normally in the middle of the race, so that means maybe in 1 minute. So let's do our prayers, and we're gonna enjoy the race. I'm enjoying it, even though we had some struggles at the start. My morning consisted of managing a Discord and teams and people that were not so happy. But now it feels rather good to sit here and enjoy and relax, and seeing the guys enjoy themselves, crushing the 1,000-pound goal, and yeah, it's all good. So I would say leave the chatting behind, Guru. Sit back, relax, and join us.
Yeah, I'm joining you, of course. And to be honest, this morning I had a really bad feeling, but I think I ate something wrong yesterday, or I drank too much. That could be the case also. But at this point, yeah, reaching that goal of over 1,000, upping the goal to 1,250. Jesus Christ, who could have thought about that? Meantime, yeah, in the race here, we see a nice overtake here then from Bradley on the inside, trying to keep it. Oh, really nice.
Yes,
a little bit braking late there, but he sticks to the move and he got it.
Here's the pit window.
Yeah. There's the pit window.
Hey. I was wondering, is there going to be a pit window? When is the pit window?
Well, here it is.
It's trickle treat. It's trickle treat. So, yeah, the pit window is now open for those teams who are doing a driver change to do a driver change, and for those teams not doing a driver change to... As Chris Minahan has a little look up the inside there into club, doesn't quite pull it off on the Aston Martin ahead of him as they come down the Hamilton straight. There, no doubt we could well be having the Verstappen straight at some point at Zandvoort.
That will be the corner where he crashed.
Yeah.
And we got the first pit stops coming in here.
Got the rather, slightly battered-looking 151 Aston of Paul Kleinhoing coming in. Got, I think we've got another car in the pits as well, but it's DeLuca. We're just going to ignore that for now. He's been in the pits for 21 laps, so I think it's fair to assume that that's a retirement. Tim Rule has pitted, so has Iona Basila. That was Kajila has pitted as well from at the front of the field, getting the pit stops in early and maybe going slightly longer on the second stint. It's dropping down the field naturally. course, you're limited to about 30 or 40 miles an hour or so in the pits. And whereas cars going past on track are doing, well, considerably more than that. We have our drone cam here
Hi, I'm Drone.
hovering over the pit straight. There goes the 151. Still showing Rule, Basilla, Minahan. Van der Horn's pitted the Porsche. Roger Powell is in the pits as well.
Battle there
Oh,
now.
side by side, and the Aston Martin just gets out in front of Tim Rule's Ferrari. It's very close between the 13 and the 777.
And we have a Gozen screen.
And we have some dude in a bright green race suit with a headset on. No doubt he's
Greg, it's
trying
Greg.
to work out,
It's
trying
Greg.
to call his driver in.
Greg Marshall.
As
His name is Greg Marshall.
yeah, Greg Marshall, yeah.
This camera, if you use it like that, it's like you're walking there drunk. Oh, there's another car coming.
There's another car coming. Let's
just
proceed a little bit more quickly, as we are in the drone. No cars in the pits right now.
on board with the Bentley of. It's still showing as Mateusz Kudzela. Oh no, there is a pit caller. The 29 Aston Martin of Pepes, I think that says, has just come into the pits. And this means that Kudzela should be passing him quite soon. Oh, there's actually a few more cars there. Marriott's in. Another car's coming as well. Another Aston Martin. So there's 3 Aston Martins in the pits at the moment. Actually, just before the first lockdown in the UK, I was at Donington Park, and there was I was walking through the pits and heard something quite loud, and it was ex Jean Alesi Formula 3000 car.
Oh.
Yeah, and yeah, clearly the person driving it had more money than talent. I think it's fair to say.
Let's see. It's Michael Sundstrom hasn't done the pit yet. So has the complete top 6 not have pitted, and there's still 5 minutes left. So they take it either this lap or next lap, I think, and then it needs to be done.
Yep. Trying to stretch the opening stint as long as possible. Maybe to push a little bit harder in the second stint of the race.
Someone mentioning in the chat, unsafe releases plus 5-second penalty and €5,000. I think the €5,000 will look very good on towards the donation goal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah, I think €1,000 would be quite nice.
I'm kind of lost my pointer. Where's my mouse? Here's my mouse, I think.
Romanciev, Gorges, Mason have come into the pits. Correa, Minahan, Cower, all in as well. We're starting to see different drivers appearing in many of the cars, as they are everyone changes drivers. So those who have been waiting very patiently for the first half of the race are able to have some fun, and those who have been having fun on track so far are able to
relax a little bit,
chill out and enjoy the stream, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe crack open a cold beverage or two, and given that it's 5 o'clock, just gone 5 o'clock in the evening, Central European time, and
it's somewhere 5 o'clock somewhere in the world always, so you can always crack open one.
Oh, exactly. Unless you're university student, then in which case it's about time to start kicking off prees.
Why not?
Yeah, why not exactly? I mean, or if you're a football fan, you've got a long trip to the match, then well, just get started when you're at the train station, pretty much.
Yeah.
Saw on Twitter this morning when I woke up. Well, I say this morning, it was actually this afternoon. When I woke up, that someone from Manchester was heading to Brighton for the match this evening, and had made a start on the train at about 5:30 this morning. So, yep.
That's
culture in
early.
the UK.
Yeah, that's a brave way to start. I wonder
exactly.
if he made it to the stadium.
Well, kick-off at the Amex Stadium in Brighton isn't for another hour and a quarter.
Whoa.
So the race will be done. We'll be done with the race well before kick-off. There's just under an hour to go here at Silverstone. It's currently showing 6:11 p.m. game time. Temperature's just dropped slightly by a degree, down to 23 degrees Celsius, but still plenty warm enough for shorts and t-shirt weather in the UK. It's like being in summer all over again. It's Juan Antonio Mena Jimenez in the Two Pumpkins Porsche is getting his first laps in during this race. And actually, with what we were saying about the Porsche earlier, with the engine being right over the back of the car, being rear-engined and traction, and given how good Porsches are in the wet in real life,
They might have
could do as Corbyn in the McLaren has received a drive-through penalty. The Bentley, rather, car number 101, has received a drive-through. I'm not 100% sure what the drive-through penalty was for, but either way, he is going to have to serve that at some point. And preferably quite soon, I'd imagine. So Burrows is in the pits, and so's the Lexus as well of Bauermeister.
I love the pronunciation of how you say Baumeister. Very good.
Oh, Baumeister.
Yeah, very good.
Yep, so they're all done in the pits. It's now showing as everything's actually updated. So we've got Brunier leading in the McLaren from Burrows, Kajila, Makhanev in 4th, Io in 5th. Oh, crikey, I'm having to read this quite closely. I'm going to move my microphone quickly. McLee, I think, is in 6th, Kruger 7th, Alsom's 8th, Thompson in 9th, and Heipler rounding out the top 10 in the number 94 Aston Martin. Smith 11th, Jimenez 12th, Santiago 13th. Santiago's now the one who's got to serve the drive-through penalty. Sevchik, I think, is in 14th. Grace, Berger, Pendry, Grill, Bakshi, and Harter rounding out the top 20. And we've got Fox, Potter, Gabriel, all there as Santiago does indeed come into the pits for the drive-through penalty. And then O'Brien, Stevenson, and of course DeLuca in the probably retired Aston Martin. Coming down the pits, Matthew Santiago there in the number 101 Bentley. That's going to cost them some time and possibly quite a few positions as well. It's cost him at least 2 positions, I'd say. judging by what I can see on the Dancing Ants screen, or track map, excuse me. The American driver, yep, indeed, has lost a couple of places, now down to 15th place. Sorry, 16th, excuse me, because Burgett's in front of him. He's got Pendry behind him, and you don't want to be making too many unforeseen trips down the pit lane in this race. Granted, Silverstone's got quite a short pit lane. I mean, if this was at Spa, you'd really not want to be making too many trips to the pits for drive-through penalties, given that the pit lane at Spa is well over 1.5 kilometers. So,
Yeah, that's like the longest.
It's I think the length of the pit lane from like where it starts at the exit of the bus stop to the top of Radion is just over a mile. So that's about 1.6 kilometers, if I remember correctly. So yeah, not the best situation to be in, but if it means that's the only way of getting all 60 teams accommodated for the 24 Heures du Spa-Francorchamps, then so be it. Currently looking at Harley Smith in the team Kamikaze Aston Martin. There's Hyperler just ahead in another Aston Martin. These both being the V8 model. There is actually a V12 Vantage GT3 in the field. As Smith has a look up the inside at Stowe, there's a little bit of contact there.
A little
So
love
Smith
tap.
on the outside, rather. Yeah, a little love tap. No, nothing major. Maybe a wing mirror at a slightly
No, who needs mirrors
less
anyway?
optimal angle. Yeah, you don't need wing mirrors much, do you?
No. You just go forward. And
Yeah.
you can hear that car behind you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
and
that's a
Smith
little
is now up to 10th. And yeah, a little pushing rather hard. It must be said. There is also actually a team racing the V12 Vantage GT3 who have commented on Discord, but it's very good in a straight line, not brilliant in the corners, and this is in the dry. So
Yeah, I cannot
bunch of
recall
absolute mad lads.
which team that exactly was. I want to get them on screen, but cannot recall their race number.
I think it was the team nearer the back of the field.
Yeah, maybe the 151 car, maybe?
That's definitely a V8. I think it might be further back, maybe 102. There it is, the big bruiser itself from Gaydon in Warwickshire. Yes, that is actually where Aston Martin's factory is, for those who don't know.
Thank you. I learned something today.
Car number 102, the big V12, and yep, they said in the chat we seriously underestimated how poor the V12 was. The straights it can handle itself, but in the corners, oh my word. Well, you're a bunch of absolute mad lads for deciding that it was a good idea to campaign this thing in the first place, and it's very commendable and brings a nice extra bit of noise to the grid. But yeah, best of luck in the race when the weather is not quite as good as it is at the moment, to put it mildly. Because oh man, sounds like someone's going to be having a fairly interesting time of it on track, shall we say.
Yeah, I also would like to see a Jag or a BMW, something, all the British manufacturers on track. It is for charity.
Right.
And even if you drive the V12 in position 24 and you're still having a good time, why not do it, It's not... as it goes wide here. It's not about winning this race. It's about coming together as three medium-sized communities and working towards this great charity goal. And I think that's much more important. Which car? I heard some of the DSRT guys saying, "Hey, if I have to do a GT4 all by myself for 24 hours, I would do it. If it's for charity, we do it."
Just imagine if someone had entered the 991 Porsche Cup car. No traction control.
No, nothing.
No nothing. No aero, but an absolute rocket ship on the straights as a result. Unfortunately, there aren't too many long straights for that car to really shine at Silverstone compared to somewhere like Spa or Bathurst or Monza.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting.
That's why we decided to do something different for 24 hours than going to the usual circuits. Silverstone, it's wide. It's also, I think, a very not the shortest track in the game. So if you have like 40 cars driving there, it will be stretched out eventually. Looking now at these 26 cars, it's spread out nice and evenly around the track, as you can see on the track map there in the corner. I think it won't be a problem. I think it's a good change from the Suzukas and what you said, Bathurst or Spa, where we usually go. Nürburgring, also very commonly taken track. Sorry, I cannot find the words properly. I'm having brain farts.
And to think that Silverstone is one of the better suited circuits in the UK compared to somewhere like Alton Park, for example, which is very narrow, has virtually no runoff area whatsoever.
Yeah, there's nowhere you can go.
It's scary in a GT3 car. Yeah, or Snetterton for that matter, everyone's favourite circuit, I think, apparently.
Well,
maybe I read the room wrong.
I did Tsukuba last week in a GT3 in iRacing, and it's just simply there's no place for two cars. So imagine doing a 24-hour on a 1-minute track with no space with 40 cars. That's not an option.
Just it brings back memories of having to do like the 9-hour race on Gran Turismo around there.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
I
think most people in the end just used to pick the Red Bull fan car, drive for 8 hours, and then just park up at the side of the track for the last hour.
Yeah, because you lapped everybody like 6 times, maybe 20 times.
Yeah. Although even funnier is that if you actually got the GT Academy version of Gran Turismo 5, you had access to the Red Bull fan car at the very start of the game, when you should be learning your racecraft in something like a Nissan March or a Toyota Yaris. You have access to a 400 plus kilometer an hour fan car that would outperform anything. Which did certainly make for some interesting moments on track as a driver. Yeah. Really having to be on one's A game, to say the least.
As someone
still going on.
Someone mentioned in the chat, Wenkel, it's the way. Look at Mazda 7 and 7B. That was a beast, or all of the Group C things. Yeah, that was very brings a smile to my face. As Juan Antonio Mena Jimenez cannot get the move done on Mr. Hypola. I'm not sure what is Mikael Hypola. Oh, from Finland, of course. I wish I was Finnish. But he cannot get it done, and he seems to be faster out of the corners. He has another great exit, but he you cannot get it towards the end of the straight as the Aston Martin has a little bit more top speed. So he's trying to find a little gap or a spot where he can manage to set it next to this Aston, but here he goes, a little bit later
for it
braking.
into club corner.
Really nice.
Really well done there from him and F. Club corner, and gets a good exit out of there as well. Of course, with the all that extra weight over the rear wheels in the Porsche, you can basically smash the throttle very hard, very early on, as you have almost all the traction in the world. Currently looking at Artus Gabriel in the number 38 Aston Martin. Currently just under a second away from the 151 ahead of him. I think these two cars were involved in the melee on the opening lap, the Royal Rumble, as they in the arena section.
In the arena, Royal Rumble in the arena section. It sounds like a good book.
Yeah, sounds like surprised Vince McMahon hasn't thought of this yet. Be something to keep the fans entertained at Coaster during the immensely long break between cars on track for the US Grand Prix this weekend. And of course, the race being in America, it's going to be quite a late one for us here in Europe.
Yeah, but I don't mind. I think it's even better than the midday, because you can have dinner and then enjoy the F1, the pre-race and everything, and then go into racing, and then you're finished for the day.
Yeah, you finish for the day and you can go to bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
It's like the
if Mr. Lewis Hamilton wins again, you can cry in bed. You know, that's better than in a corner. Oh.
I think the 101, Gabriel's gone past the Aston Martin ahead of him. I think that was might have been quite a big mistake.
Yeah.
V12 has actually gone through as well. The one was closed right up, sorry, to Nicholas Potter in the 151. The big V12, which you'd imagine would have a bit of an advantage on the straights. It's just actually when they were developing the V12 Vantage, it doesn't have a proper rear diffuser like all the other GT3 cars in this field. I can't remember exactly what they did at the back of the car, but yeah, there's a
they ran out of money.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying what Aston Martin's history is like, but it has happened a couple of times, and maybe another time as well. So, yeah, as the big V12 comes through the area, which is
Nicholas Poller is not having a good time. His last lap was at 2:05, so there's something not. Maybe they didn't choose the right pit stop, so the tires might be a little bit off temperature. That might be a thing, as Hayden Harter now is in that 77 car, and his last lap was at 2:02 as well, and they did 1:59. So you can tell the second driver doesn't have to be their fastest. I think we've seen the very fast guys in the first hour, and now the less experienced guys are hopping in, and we can see a change in their pace overall, except for the 899 car, which was driven by Michael Sundstrom and now by Sebastian Brunier. Also sub 2 minutes lap time. So yeah, I think these guys are on a different level.
Well, you could say they're nearly on pace if it weren't for the fact that they are actually.
Well, I think they are nearly on pace. Yeah, nearly. Just a little bit off.
Yeah, it's only about a second. at the moment between the best lap set by Sundstrom in the first part of the race and Brunier's last lap.
So maybe they're like beefs and butthead, pointing at each other and saying, "No, no, you are nearly on pace. No, 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 you are nearly on pace. No, 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 you are nearly on pace." And that makes them
And
a little bit quicker overall.
yep, and Fox has just pitted and dropped out of the top 23. Kevin Fox there in the 824 McLaren.
Yeah, something is not going right. The last lap was
Yep.
at 2 minute 20, so something is not correct with that 824 car.
I mean, some of that time difference might have been down to the fact that they did have to slow for the pit speed limit line, but looking at where their garage is in relation and where the pit speed limit line is in relation to the start finish line, I shouldn't have added too many seconds to their time. Ruben Simonite there in the 125.
It's their
Aston
fourth pit stop actually from the 824
Wow.
car. So yeah, something is not on
Really
point.
not right with that car. Of course, we can't mention the pits at Silverstone without mentioning Michael Schumacher in the 1998 British Grand Prix, serving his drive-through penalty, technically after having crossed the start-finish line to win the race.
Yeah, that was
Of course,
very
I'm
smart.
Message from the 824 car in the chat. We broke the car in the wall, so the car is in the pit.
Yeah, that may be a very substantial factor then as to the drop in lap times. Of course, the 1998 British Grand Prix, I was only a year old. So I probably wouldn't have been paying much attention to it. I was only reading it afterwards. As looking at Jakob.
Yeah, here he comes.
Here he comes in the number 111 Mercedes.
We have learned that yesterday. Sevji.
Oh, Sevchik, sorry.
I was waiting for it.
I remember that Zvonimir in chat here. He, at the beginning from the stream, he said Sevjik is not there, so it made it easy. But the whole way of the whole night and everything, I was just learning the names and trying to pronounce them. And no, not really, but I remember that one.
Yeah, this is going to be this is going to be something that's going to happen, I think, for quite a lot of the 24 hours itself, maybe.
At the end, we will know them all, so that's good. I want to take a look. The biggest gainers at this point is the 23 car of the DSRT Frightening Clouds, gaining 10 positions, starting 26th, and we also got the 112 car, which started 25th and is now in 10th position. So, yeah, that's a very, very good recovery drive from them. Only having to do one pit stop, so that's a very clean drive. Nothing to add to that. The 29 car having quite a quiet race. I think we haven't mentioned them so far yet, but they managed to start in P16 and they are now in P7, so also gaining 9 spots on that grid.
Yep, the Vincent Alsems in the Aston Martin Trackside eSports Orange. I can confirm it is definitely very orange. Car number 29 there, coming through the Margaret Speckett Chapel complex as we speak. Lots of dirt on the car, as to be expected, as there's the 606. That's had a
big shunt.
A bit of a moment, to put it mildly, at Stowe Corner. And it'll be interesting to see how that car is going to be handling. I remember at the WEC race in 2015, we had the Bicolis with a broken floor. I've never seen such an ill-handling car in my life. Going past the pits. Currently looking at the Lexus now. All good so far through Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, onto the hangar straight. He's got one of the front-running Aston Martins behind. Turns into the corner and
Loses it.
Snap it, loses it. Tries to correct the slide, overcorrects it, and into the gravel trap. Of course, the gravel trap where Michael Schumacher had his accident in 1999 when the brakes failed.
It's good there's gravel there.
Yes, there is. Unfortunately for Schumacher, there was also quite a lot of very partisan Brits in the crowd who remembered what he did to Damon Hill at Adelaide in 1994. So, yeah. You can probably see where this is going.
Yep.
Yep. There wasn't... From what I've read in the 1999 yearbook, the fans, well, they weren't exactly disappointed, shall we say?
Yeah, it's a interesting story, so to say.
Yeah. Just a wee bit. Looking at him and F in the Porsche, Hyperler in the Mercedes. And Hyperler's got Sevchik less than a second behind him, just under 0.798 seconds. And I think Sevchik is actually catching the Aston Martin there.
Yes. His lap times are 2 seconds better per lap, so...
Yeah, I think he should be getting past Hyperler, the Finnish driver, within the next couple of laps, maybe at this rate. Currently on board with Sevchik, heading up to Club Corner.
With only 30 minutes left in this race, it flew by, and it's been amazing so far with little to no accidents.
Yeah, it's wait, it's only half an hour. Oh, crikey, yeah, there is only half an hour left. can't quite believe it.
Yeah.
Where's the last 90 minutes gone?
I don't know. Something with pit stops and then finish. We start, we do a pit stop, and then we finish. So, yeah, very well driven by everybody, and very respectful driving. Good battles so far. Interesting to see where Sevchik can put that AMG with his pace being a lot better than the guys in front of him. I think he could go top 10 if he can clear these slower cars quickly enough.
You say that, but there's a... sorry, I actually just misread that. I was looking at Saw plus 23 next to Harley Smith's name.
Yeah, but
plus
it's like
23
a 9
McLaren.
second. Yeah, 9 second gap.
Yeah, in front could be done. I think he's going to have to clear Hyperler fairly quickly. I'd say probably by the end of this lap, maybe, to stand a chance of really cracking the top 10.
Here he comes on the outside. And oh, the camera takes so long. And here he is on the outside, making it stick on that 94 car of off-pace racing. And he's done it. So onto Hypola. Let's see what he can do. Do we have any other interesting battles on track? Currently the gap from P1 to P2 is 23.5 seconds.
Yep.
So
I'll say, barring a major disaster. This is almost sealed now for Brunier. Kajela is doing a very good job, admittedly, given the circumstances, given that he's still in the 28 Bentley. He's doing a very, very good job indeed. Maybe getting some practice at double stinting for the race itself.
Yeah, and I think going into different weather patterns, as we see the 54 car there standing still for a bit. I don't know what happened there. Let's take a quick look. We go 30 seconds back. Going into that race with different weather patterns, what can happen? I think the Bentley will be a little bit better. In that,
I think
in that changing conditions, I think
it's setup related.
Ooh. Yeah, that's one way to
heat the
sort
tires.
out. That's one way to warm the tires up. Lose it at a 200 km/h fourth gear corner. Not ideal, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, that curb is deadly.
Yeah, those tires might be quite heavily flat spotted now. I remember back in 2005 when you had to make a set of tires last an entire Grand Prix. Raikkonen locking up at the Nürburgring, and then the whole suspension just let go altogether at the start at turn 1 on the final lap of the race when he basically hit the brakes, and the suspension decided no,
not today.
Not today, and flew off into the gravel, and he damn near took out Jenson Button's BAR Honda as well.
I think I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah, which meant that Fernando Alonso inherited the victory. Of course, this was back in the good old days of cost-cutting in Formula 1, where the idea of cost-cutting meant making an engine last an entire Grand Prix weekend, not having 4 or 5 engines a season. Those were the good old days.
Good old days. Everything was better when we were younger, huh?
Yeah.
That's the point. You're getting old.
Yeah. And being 24 years old and still harking back to the good old days of the V10 era and all that, yeah. Does make one feel quite old, even though I'm probably not old.
I think Burgett is not gaining on Grace there. I thought he was gaining a little bit.
I was waiting to see just probably how damaged the tyres are on that Audi. Looking at Ruben Simonite in the 125. Runs a little bit. Well, he's actually letting the Lapton McLaren back through there as well. The car behind him, 1.7 seconds back, is an Aston Martin. And the McLaren has actually unlapped itself in relation to Ruben Simonite. Coming through Luffield now. Towards Woodcote Corner. And back across what many people will have known for years as the pit straight at Silverstone, but actually originally the pit straight was between Club and Woodcote, just a little bit after Abbey Corner, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the original pit lane.
Yeah, the original. Well, it wasn't really a pit lane in those days. It was just a
straight
bit of tarmac
yeah.
side.
A runoff area with a big tank of fuel, which was just standing there.
Yeah. Well, track limits in the 1950s was just some hay bales at the side. So, yeah.
Those were the real gentlemen. And now we are sitting here doing virtual races, having no fear of. Well, maybe you can break your arm or fingers, having a very strong force feedback, but that's all that can happen. Imagine those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, back in those days, it was just back in those days. The mentality was, well, if I have a crash, I'd much rather be thrown from the car than trapped in the car.
Yeah.
If it were fire, so it was definitely a different.
And, yep. Goes for the
in those
inside.
days. Goes for the inside
Makes it.
and the position. Andre McClea.
McClea.
Messia.
McClea.
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 McClea. Cheers in the number 13 Aston Martin there. Gets past Ruben Simonite. He's currently looking at Juan Antonio Mena Jimenez in the Porsche. Currently having a look, see what's happened.
I think he already got the move done. I thought I could bring back the overtake.
Fair enough. And the Porsche going very, very well here at Silverstone. If it's this quick in the dry, then I dread to think how quick it's going to be in the wet. If we get any wet weather conditions. But
Yeah,
then
I'm-
again,
I'm-
trick
I'm-
or treat. Who
yeah.
knows?
Who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can turn down the trackside lights, or have a little bit of a disco, or throw some candy corn on the pit exit so that all the cars slide out of the pit.
Yeah. Or maybe have me singing something off the new Ice Nine Kills album, The Silver Scream 2.
Why not?
Yeah.
Everything for a little bit of money, huh?
Yeah. It's just a case of trying to. Actually, no, I won't even bother. I still need to actually listen to that album at some point. Maybe I'll just wait till Halloween itself and then listen to it.
Exactly. That adds a little bit of extra atmosphere.
Bit of extra. Some more vibes. Make it more vibey. Currently looking at.
I think, let me see, Pendry is last lap was a 2:02.
Yeah. Much wow. As he comes down the pit straight, excuse me, into Cops Corner.
So
I love the fact it's actually written. I love the fact it's written in Comic Sans for added effects as well.
Yeah, it's very.
The most maligned computer font in human history.
One's got to be the best, but there's also got to be one that's the worst, and I think it's this one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you could write it all in like wingdings or something, but then you actually wouldn't know what's being said.
That's maybe for next year. We do a alien theme or something like this. Then it will suit.
Trying to find which circuit's closest to Area 51. No, that's Laguna Seca. Never mind.
Let's race at Area 51. Let's go around it.
Yeah.
Do a NASCAR track around it or something. Like a big oval.
24-hour NASCAR race. Crikey,
Oh my god. So much full course yellows incoming.
No. Make it 24-hour NASCAR race around the Roval at Charlotte.
Oh no. Don't even get me started. I'm not signing up for the stream. I remember doing 4 hours of that track together with Guru, and I was finished, and I was smoking a cigarette outside, and my eyes were actually still twisting. I could see the swirl of the track in my eyes.
Oh.
He didn't tell you what he was smoking, but
I'll be right back, guys.
Be right back, okay. In the chat here we have Red Zuck, who said we have a better pace than the top 5, but we are P25. Yeah, that's maybe involved in the incident. In the background you hear the youngest DSRT member
Getting enjoying the racing and getting very invested in the battle here between James Pendry and Gray in the 54 Audi for 16th place. It's shaping up to be a cracking battle. I would be doing the same as well. As they come down the hangar straight with...
Oh, and a pun there.
Oh, and there's contact, and Pendry brings the car to a stop. And lets the Audi back in front. And they've lost a few positions. I think that's a Lexus that's gone through as well. Maybe Brewer. They may have only lost one position.
Yeah, I think so as well, and it's really fair play from him that he waited on the Audi to move again. So fair play to him. But yeah, still losing then a position isn't so good.
No, it's not brilliant. Mercedes is pretty. It's a pretty good all-round car. It tends to be quite.
Oh, hello.
Hello. The Mercedes in real life is actually a pretty good all-round car. It doesn't seem to like suit one particular type of track better than the other, as Pendry sends it up the inside into the last couple of corners, but the Audi gets alongside at Woodcote. There's another love tap, and that's bringing the 824 McLaren in. No, they're not going to go free.
Oh,
no,
that's
contact
trouble.
at
Oh,
Woodcote.
no. I
And
thought Pendry.
And Pendry is broadside on the pitch straight. He gets going again. That was Fox in the 824 McLaren, which was actually a lap down as well, I should add, for good measure. And that was a cracking battle. We're coming up to the replay now. I'm actually going to have to get my phone and film this myself. It was a cracking battle shaping up as they came down the Wellington Straight here at Silverstone. Mercedes getting a good slipstream there from the Audi. Much better on the brakes.
Oh.
Good clean pass up the inside, but runs a little bit wide into Luffield. The Audi gets back past, and there's the gap on the inside. Fox in the McLaren thinks, yeah, I'm going to have a go. In fact, Mercedes moves into the middle, and 3 into 1 does not really.
How is it possible that the other two cars they didn't spin or seem to be affected by it? It's just this car going left, right, and finished. That was very awkward.
Yeah, to be honest, it looked like a little bit of the Fast and the Furious. 2 cars sandwiching the other ones, and I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it was an amazing battle. There's a little bit door banging here between Harley Smith and I think it's Juan.
Him
So defending then his position, the 10th position, but I saw in the previous rounds he's under pressure now by Mr. Smith there. So yeah, that's nice to see. But the other battle, Jesus Christ, 3 wide, door banging, everything, really nice to see.
3 wide at Woodcote is interesting to say the least. Is IO. Car number 100, the CMR Racing Bentley Continental GT3 up against Messiah, I think that is, in the number 13 Aston Martin. This is a battle for 4th and a starting spot on row 2 of the grid ahead of next weekend's race. Coming down the hangar straight now. Bentley looks to the outside at Stowe, maybe for the cutback. No, not quite. And we're going to see now as they head up to Club Corner. No, it's still line astern. two cars which both made in the UK, both have had a lot of success worldwide, and both relative. Well, the Aston Martin more so than the Bentley is more common in British GT, but yeah, a few teams I think have used the Bentley in the past. Notably, I think Team Parker Racing was one of them back in the day. Currently looking at Vincent Alsom's in the 29 Aston Martin. He's got Ruben Simonite just ahead of him, and I'll say just ahead. There's not a lot in it. Maybe Simonite's tyres are starting to go off because he's lost a couple of positions here during.
Yeah, his last lap was 2:03, so there is something wrong with that car. Maybe they forgot to change the tires.
Well, it can be done. It can definitely be done. I've seen it happen in endurance races before, where fast driver gets in car for final stint and team forget to change tyres. So it wouldn't be the first time. And Alsems has in fact gone past Simonite there through Woodcote. Moves the 29 Aston Martin up into 6th place overall.
Very good, very good. And looking where they started on P16. So they actually gained 10 positions today.
It's an awesome job.
Yeah, that's very good pace. I said it yesterday while the warm-up race was going on. You can do one very quick lap, but having a 2-hour race really shows what kind of pace teams can do. And I think that's why we choose for this qualifying format, because it's more fair, you know. The fastest guys having the best pace are in front.
Yeah. It's still, we're 54 laps in at Silverstone. We've pretty much covered an entire Grand Prix.
And that's
so
only
far.
the qualification race for next week, for the 24 hours, so.
It's only the qualification race, and we've still got just under 11 minutes to go at Silverstone.
It feels like a proper race, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we won't mention what happened in the Grand Prix this year, but I was actually at work at the time.
There.
We're Dutch.
I mean,
we're Dutch. Don't go there. We're Dutch.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't even really see properly what happened either, because I was having to basically doing the equivalent of trying to watch a video on an iPhone from about 2 meters away.
Well, I know what happened there, but I won't say it here because opinions are different about it. But that's the thing. If you are a Lewis Hamilton fan or a Verstappen fan, you will always see it a little bit differently. So it's the same as in Monza. People say it was dangerous driving. The others say from Max Dan, and the others say Lewis cut him off. And I watched a video online on YouTube from one of famous people that did racing real life and does like videos about how to improve. He's a coach as well, and he explained it from both sides, and he said there's nothing else than a racing incident. And yeah, I'm a Max Verstappen fan, but to be honest, I think it is as well. It's just a racing incident, you know, but people don't agree on anything. But if we all agree on the same thing, it wouldn't be interesting in life, right?
Yeah, I know. And, well, actually, I've got a little bit of a family connection to Verstappen's family, because when Jos was racing for Tyrrell, this is back in 1997, one of my relatives was actually the chief mechanic of the team.
Oh, that's funny.
I can't remember if it's third or fourth cousin, but he'd been at the team a very long time, I think going back to the late 1970s, early 1980s, and my dad told me a story about one time when a few of the guys at the factory, as a bit of an after-hours project, brought one of the old Ford Cosworth DFVs and decided to put it into a Ford Escort.
As we say,
Um,
Demi Ayo is currently at the back of the 13 car for a little while now, and
Yeah.
I think Ayo is quicker, but he just needs to find a gap as he goes to the outside here. Can he? No, he will not.
It's a very stout defence from the Aston Martin
Yeah.
because they've been doing this for a while, but Io I think has had
There was a little bit of contact there.
I think Io's starting to get a little bit bored of admiring the back end of the Garage 59 Aston Martin and wants to actually try and
Get on with it.
get past. Try and get another grid spot. Yeah, the old Ford, the F1 engine Ford Escort. The broadcastable version of what that car was like to drive was undrivable. There was nothing pushing the front end of the car down. So when you got to miles per hour, the front end was starting to lift off the ground, which is not brilliant, it must be said. Still, the battle rages on between Io in the number 100 Bentley and Messiah in the number 13 Aston Martin. They've got well, as if this wasn't spicy enough already, they've got a back marker in front of them.
Yeah.
Well, in the form of a Lexus RCF GT3. So
all three wide there.
Oh,
they're going three wide.
Oh,
There's contact, and
not again.
they've all gone off the circuit at the corner. Io gets it back onto the circuit first. He's let Messiah go in front. The Lexus is probably waiting to rejoin, and felt like one of those incidents which you could see potentially happening for quite some time before it actually happened. To go three wide there, a little bit of contact, and everyone into each other. And I think maybe the Lexus actually has got a fair bit of damage to the front end as well.
Yeah,
I think it
but
might have actually hit the wall there.
He should have lifted because he is blue flagged, you know. Just let go and let these two guys grace. And Io was a little bit aggressive there, taking that little gap in the middle. And then things are starting to get going from bad to worse in seconds.
One thing for sure, I think it will be a late night for us for the reviews that was in the beginning of the race and now like stuff like this. But in the meantime, we have like 5 minutes and 17 seconds left, and I just wanted to point out we are doing this for the charity, the Trick or Treat event, 24 hours race for Cancer Research UK, and you can all even donate. So if you type !donate in chat, you will see a link, and that's the reason why we are doing it, to raise money for this charity. So just wanted to point it out because it's almost over, this race, the qualification race of the 24 hours. So make sure that we are not doing it for nothing. Thank you very much.
And we've got another follower as well.
Karolis, thank you very much for the follow.
This is now following us.
Thank you. And this is maybe also a good time to thank our sponsors for providing very nice prizes. You can find them on the DSRT Twitter and on the Trick or Treat Discord. I'm not sure if...
I can tell. And it's Simix Pro, it's R&D Racing, Coach Dave Academy with the SimGrid, and we have Matto Colliery, and all are providing some prizes and for the racers, of course. But we also have like the voucher. If you donate $250 to the charity, you can select the reward, and the reward for Simix Pro for $250 is a €75 voucher that you can use at their shop. And then we have the the liveries. So if you donate £1 to the charity, next race in the 24 hours you can enter a number. So you see all those nice liveries out there, and we will show them to you some more next week. So you can put in your vote, and the winner of that will get a Coach Dave Academy setup pack together with SimGrid. They provided that. Today's race winners, the top 3 of the qualification will get a Netta G55 livery for the GT4 class, specially made by Metal Coloring. And then we have for the top in the race, the top 3 spots from the Pro and the Silver class, because we are going to do 2 classes. They will get set up, by choice from R&D Racing, of course.
Very nice prize pool indeed. As we have 3 minutes left, next week we'll be broadcasting the whole event in 3 parts of 8 hours on all the channels. That's the DSRT Twitch channel, the GRG eSports YouTube, the GRG eSports Twitch channel, and also on the OTL Twitch channel. So yeah, wherever you look you will hear us again, and yeah, it will be a fun 24 hours. The broadcast will go on for 24 hours. We also will have live stewarding. Something I wanted to mention, we've been doing 2 hours of racing and I didn't see a single drive-through.
No, there was one earlier.
Ah, sorry. Okay, I missed that then. But even one is like amazing.
Yeah, we've only had, to my knowledge, we've only had one drive-through flash up on screen during this race. We got just under. Oh, there you go. There's Harley Smith pointing the wrong direction there. Was there contact in the battle between Smith Sevcik and Harley Smith? Is well and truly in the wars a little bit in the Team Kamikaze car. That's actually, I think that was a back marker there, having a little bit of contact. We all know what the back markers should do, don't we? Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
Hey, you can better stick it to commentating, mate.
Yeah. See, I told you I couldn't sing.
Yeah, for $1,250, he will sing a complete song for you guys. So
no. Trust me, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear me singing an entire song. So that was just a little taster of how bad I am at singing.
Well, that's all the viewers gone, and with 39 seconds to go in this race, it was the best moment to choose to go singing. I think Sevcik made the move eventually, but not in the safest, nicest manner. It will probably be looked at by our steward panel. Here we have Simonite, still 1 second behind Kruger in the 777 car. I don't know if there will be one more lap after this. And we still have Io behind Miklea. Having a little coming together, but we got to give it to this guy. He did an amazing job today. This team showed great pace in the dry, having that car hooked up for 2 hours. The best lap time as well, the 1:58.413. Which is very good for racing time. As we will now pass the last corner of Silverstone, the 2 hours qualifying session, and the win is for nearly on pace. Congratulations to them.
Nearly on pace, very much on pace. There's Pendry there with a. Showing us having a plus.
Yeah, they will get
plus.
They will get the penalties for sure. I'm quickly gonna save the replay, And we're gonna head back.
And,
They will all receive the penalties because of the driver restrictions. That's why I asked Guru to take pictures.
Cheers. So everyone is getting some penalties. Kajela hasn't received a penalty by the looks of things.
No, because he drives alone.
Ah, fair enough. Jeez.
Yeah, he will receive one penalty, I think. Maybe it's like a 10 seconds because, but to be fair, it was like issues with the login, so I told him he could drive it alone. And yeah, you have to take your hat off for him that he drove it alone. For the rest, I told him try to do 2 drivers, so that's always nice to see. And the penalties, of course, they will not count towards anything. We have these standings, we will take those penalties away, and then we have a standing. And from that standing, with all the things that will be reported, we will have a busy week, I think. And eventually we will have a starting grid. So, but yeah, like I said before, it's all for the charity. And yeah, we will take on that work. And all the drivers, all the teams that participated, like Equipet Racing, awesome stream, guys. Great racing. Thank you for this qualification. Glad we were a part of it. So teams are happy, and let's hope it stays that way. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed having you guys together here on the stream. As we see.
And, could you put on the standings?
Yeah, of course.
So I.
But I think this one has the penalties applied already.
Oh, that's a lot. To the top, please. Yeah.
And now it's gone.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Because we changed sessions.
Ah.
But we can extract the results from the server side. So
yeah, indeed. Server side has the standings as well. I have like 2 screenshots, so no problem. We will figure it out for the rest. And yeah, the teams and everything again, and all the viewers, of course. We had many viewers on the GRG eSports channel, on the DSRT Twitch here. Thank you very much for the donations. Thank you very much for watching and being active in chat. Always nice to have that. And yeah, the amazing part, to be honest, and that's the thing why we do it. We already reached the goal of £1,000, and now we can up it. So it's now 1,250, and yeah, that Jesus, I'm so happy about that one.
So we see you all next week. Roblo, thank you for joining. Guru, thank you for joining as well. And we see you all next week. And we're gonna end it right here.
Good night, guys.
Bye.